Yo, what is up, guys? It's your girl Bex, and welcome back to the race rundown, following on from a lovely sunny weekend in Silverstone. What a shock that was. Who thought it was going to rain? I did, but it did not. We are having a heat wave in the UK at the moment. It is going to be 33 degrees today. How's everyone holding up? This could be our summer, so let's make the most of it. Let's get straight into it, shall we? So, Silverstone GP. Obviously, I want to touch on the extravaganza, which was the driver's parade of the Lego cars. Bin Salem, whatever your fucking name is, fuck you for not having a Lego go-kart. Fuck you. You could have had a safety car one. That would have been funny. If they made the safety car out of Lego, you could have driven that. But anyway, fuck you. Also, the rest of the drivers getting stuck in the gravel, iconic. Crofty and Brundle both saying, that's the most that Bin Salem's worked in the last few months. I stand by that. He was helping get them all out of the gravel. Carlos just ditched his freaking go-kart and was like, I'm gonna pitch a ride with our boy Lando, and he just got on Lando's go-kart and they just went for a leisurely drive around the track. And I say leisurely, they were bloody slow, but it was a really, really good driver's parade. So anyway, we then go from the driver's parade to the beginning of the race. Now, my loving other half made an appearance at the beginning of the race, and he, as you may or may not know if you've listened to previous episodes of the pod, is not the biggest Formula One fan. He tries, bless him, and it's just not his thing, and that's fine. That's why you get me, and my thoughts and opinions are not his, and that's perfectly fine. He puts up with the obsession, as you can see in the background of the office right now. He puts up with it. He doesn't necessarily enjoy it. He'll listen to me ramble. But the whole reason why this podcast was invented, ladies and gentlemen, was so that I had like-minded people to speak to about this stuff. Because bless him, he tries. Bless him, he tries. So at this point, both the Ferraris get round Kimi. Oscar's complaining of damage. My partner from the kitchen, love him, says, and I quote, "Fuck's sake, Piastri, this is why you aren't on a monster can." To which I just died laughing. I was like, that is iconic. We later found out from a quick Google search that he actually is on a monster can. He just doesn't have his own flavour. So looks like I need to add another monster can. It looks like I need to add another monster can to that collection over here, because clearly I need one with Piastri on it. Clearly. And if anyone can find a Red Bull can with Perez and Max on it that isn't fucking ridiculous price, I'll buy it off you, just so that you know, because I need it for the background. As much as I don't like Red Bull, I want to complete the background, you see. I want to get it the best that I can. I also wanted all the Lego helmets, but I think we're just going to go for a Lando helmet right here, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. So anyway, back to the race. Sorry, I digressed. Piastri gets damage. My partner comes out with that absolute scorcher of a line. Hadjar is doing really well at this point. Max wide round cops fighting with Hadjar. Really good bit of racing there. Sainz, amazing start up to P10. Wheel spin off the line for Kimi, which caused him to drop 2 places. Okay, Oscar and Lawson in Brooklyn, which caused the damage. Behrman and Albon then had a collision, which led to a 10-second time penalty for Albon. Lewis Hamilton then noted for a false start with a 5-second penalty then coming his way. We say a false start. It wasn't even a jump start. He literally just anticipated the lights going out and moved ever so slightly, bless him. It was a harsh weekend for our boy Lewis this weekend. Absolutely brutal in my opinion. Charles then at this point up in first. Colapinto up into 12th. Good for him. Kimi round Lewis at Stowe. Max pitted for hards. The last win for Charles was in 2024, which, considering he was in P1, it was looking good for him at this point. Max pits for hards. Norris and Hamilton finding it hard to stay on the track and suffering from tyre deg. Lando's front tyres were just absolutely unbelievably shot. Lando does 2 personal bests when Hadjar pitted. Therefore, clearly the McLaren runs better in clean air. Where have we seen this before? Mercedes. Yeah. Moving on. Lap 21, Kimi's making good ground on Leclerc. Lap 22, virtual safety car as an umbrella from Lando stand. Yes, our fellow Lando Norris fans caused a virtual safety car as an umbrella made its way onto the track, with Ocon getting the benefit from that. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Esteban Ocon. Hamilton's struggling with understeer. He's told to pit and is serving the penalty even though the tyres were fine. We then find out that Lewis wasn't told about the penalty until coming in, which is a bit sus. Why did they not tell him? Did they think that he would be absolutely fuming? Did they think it would affect his race? I don't know. So anyway, he serves a 5-second time penalty even though his tyres were fine. This causes Lewis to lose 2 track positions and effectively missing out on second place. Lewis wasn't told about it. It was a 2.4 second stop for Leclerc with Kimi time coming from Crofty. Crofty, you may or may not have jinxed it, foreshadowing for what's coming next. Hamilton and Russell going back and forth with an amazing fight, and you can tell that the battery power in these cars is just causing overtaking to be even more difficult, and we love that because it makes the race more entertaining for us. So Lewis goes back around George goes back around Lewis, blah blah blah. George has a slow puncher and needs to pit. What a rough race for these two. Hamilton and George were going through it at this point. He ignores the pit crew and stays out for one more lap trying to overtake Max, and of course fails. George then tries to force Max wide, in my opinion. This was much debated by everyone who was watching the race over the weekend. I think George did it to be spiteful, personally, because this has happened the other way round last year. So I think he did it to be spiteful. I'm not George's biggest fan, despite having a signed George Russell card there. I'm not George's biggest fan, but I think he did it on purpose, personally. Anyway, George then comes out on used tyres. Merc then pit Kimi with an amazing stop. Brand new tyres. 7.7 seconds with a 10-lap tyre advantage for Kimi. Absolutely unreal. He looked like he was going to win at this point. Lewis goes around Max on the Wellington straight. Hulkenberg is off with a yellow flag on lap 39. Virtual safety car with Max going in for a pit stop for new medium tyres. Norris pits as well and comes out behind George. 5 times exceeding track limit and a 5-second penalty potentially for Kimi at this point. Kimi's car then seemingly shits itself and he can't steer. He's going off here, there and everywhere. He can't steer. They think it was the wheel shield, so they pit him, they rip it off, they bring him back out again, and he's still going here, there and everywhere. He's then from first down to 7th, sad times, with a black and white flag shown for track limits, which then led him to getting a 5-second penalty. So when it rains, it pours for our boy Kimi Antonelli. He really suffered this weekend, but fair play, he didn't retire the car, he kept going, so fair play to him. What is going on with Piastri all the way up the back? Kimi just refuses to give up and keeps going despite the car being less than fantastic. Albon then retires. Max Verstappen, let's talk about this for a second. Not only did he crashed in front of the Lando stand, which is probably the best place fan-wise for him to crash, because Max's fans have cheered on Lando in the past when he's crashed, and we did the same thing for him. The bromance between these two runs deep, and the fans love them both. So, of all the places that he could have crashed, that was probably the best time for him to crash. So, sad times. Right in front of the Lando stand. At that point, Hadjar Lawson, Lindblad, Bortoletto, Colapinto all come in for a pit because they don't lose any time under the safety car. Leclerc and Hamilton then pit. Russell is in for his second pit stop. Max seemingly at this point lost the back end and ended up in the gravel. At this point, my dark humour was thinking, Sky have got their new Christmas advert for this year. Oh no, maybe we shouldn't be thinking like that. But if you see it, I said it here first, just so you know. Lewis noted for a yellow flag infringement. We'll get into that in a minute. And this has been the latest safety car since 2010, with Sir Mo Farah waving the flag on arguably the worst possible ending to Silverstone I've ever seen. So, there are now 27 points between Kimi and George. And I have here, in all caps, not sure if you can see that, I have here in all caps, Finishing behind the safety car, what the fuck? This is so shit. I agree. It's so shit. We could have had one extra lap of racing. However, they denied us of such a luxury. And we finished behind the safety car, which for Charles' first win at Silverstone is fucking shit. But hey ho, we move. We still don't fully know why we finished under the safety car. But I'm sure when I get that info, at the time of recording, I don't know why we finished under the safety car, but when I get that info, I will come back to you on that. Charles did a really good job. Mr. Leclerc then looked really happy in the garage. Lewis, at this point, was being investigated, but we'll do the full podium. Nothing came of that. It was determined that he didn't have enough time between the yellow and the green, so nothing came of that. His third position is maintained, so unfortunately, Lando misses out on a podium this time round. Maybe next year, Lando, maybe next year. George, I've then got, is slagging off the car again. Just no class at all whatsoever. Blames everyone but himself. And Charles, on the other hand, is really, really lovely, as always. So, on the podium, we had 2 Brits and a Monegasque. Lewis has had 16 podiums at Silverstone, as it stands right now. So, then we have the after-race elements, which are Lewis avoiding the yellow flag infringement, thank God. But then we have Carlos. Now, Carlos, as you all know, during a safety car, the lapped cars can unlap themselves. So Carlos, thinking he was lapped, unlapped himself. However, he did not need to do this. So therefore, he got hit with a penalty lap after the race due to incorrectly unlapping himself during the safety car, so went from 12th to 17th. Just a second there for arguably the rarest penalty I've ever seen. I've never heard this happen in my years of watching the sport, so that's a new one. Poor Carlos. Next up is Spa. So I am doing something a little bit different this year, because as you all know, the Silverstone special is a big one for the race rundown, the home race of the podcast. So I have some special guests this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to have them on video because they just don't want to show their faces, and that's fine. So we're going to switch to audio for the second half of this podcast. And we're going to be joined with a couple of friends of mine who are also fans of the pod, just to go over our thoughts, feelings, opinions, and everything following on from Silverstone, as well as maybe even some predictions for Spa and the rest of the season moving forward.
So one of my First questions I've got written down is, what actually happened to Oscar?
Yeah, I had that too.
Yeah. It sounds like he got caught up in the tangle between, was it Albon and one of the Hasses? I'm blanking on which one it was now.
Albon and Behrman, I believe. And then
I think
Oscar apparently had some damage because of a collision with Lawson.
Right, because they never actually showed a replay.
Yeah, because Lawson seemed to recover and Oscar just didn't.
Yeah. Because that was the thing, like they showed the replay of like the incident between Albon and Behrman, and then it just cut to Oscar's wing hanging off, and I was just like, where did that happen though? Like he wasn't in that replay, so why are you just showing me this with zero context?
You're just showing me the sadness of a bent McLaren front wing. You're not showing me any contextual evidence here.
I'm already traumatized from this season at McLaren, especially for Oscar.
Apparently they have golden Lando Norris monster cans, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know if that... Alright, because I haven't seen any in our Tesco.
I was going to go check there tomorrow. I'm glad you told me.
Because that was the thing. I saw Lando drinking from a golden can, and like I said to Jess, like, I don't recognise that can. And then a little part of me remembered that like ages ago, I think McLaren had like a gold can. So I was like, oh, maybe it's like one of those. I don't really like it. And then, like on Instagram this morning, I saw Lando with the same can, and I saw like the blob designs, and I was like, oh no, that's just a Lando can in gold. That's awesome. I want one.
There's one for £4,000 on eBay.
I don't want one that bad.
£4,000? £4,000? Are you joking? What the hell? It's a limited edition run of the flavour for the World Championship title, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Can I buy one from somewhere? Where can I find one?
I want not it. £4,000.
I need it for the background. It's a need. It's not a want, it's a need.
I must have it.
Genuinely, I must have it, but not for £4,000 on eBay. The search for the golden monster continues.
If anyone has any leads, hit us up.
Yes, hit us up, literally. If anyone has any leads, we're putting it out to the internet. Don't try and charge me $4,000 because the answer's no. No. If I had $4,000, I'd have bought one already, but I don't, so I can't. Yeah. All right, that was that. Which,
you want to
don't even get me started on the 2021 comparisons from this weekend.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll save that.
Ooh. Again, I need to go through some things that I didn't think were fair, and I feel like this is the best time to do it because I feel like we're already sort of on that subject anyway. So, I want to hear your thoughts on the Lewis penalty for the false start. Do we think it was too harsh? Do we think it was fair?
I disagreed with it.
Oh,
mostly because we've seen drivers get away with it in the past.
See, like that's Lando what I thought.
Away with it. See, I couldn't tell you what year or what track it was, but in recent history, I remember Lando getting away with the exact same thing because he done that same thing where he jumped, stopped, waited for the lights, and then went. And they, I think they said that they let him off with it because he didn't gain an advantage.
Yes.
So evidently, I'm assuming that either race control have forgotten that ever existed and just were slamming Hamilton for it, or they saw some sort of advantage from it.
Okay.
But yeah, just based on the fact that I've seen it happen before, I was a bit sort of like, I don't agree with it.
But at the same time, that's an interesting point that you raise about it's happened before with other drivers. Do we think they're just laying it on a bit thicker because he's an 8-time world champion and should know better?
Well, there has always
7.5.
7.5. Yeah. Yeah, there has always been, like, again, some fans go tinfoil hat with some of their, like, controversies around why Hamilton hasn't got the 8th and
Team LH, all eyes looking at you.
They're
fully wrapped in tinfoil at this point. They don't have the hats, they've got the full body suit.
I would quite openly say that, like, I lean a little bit Team LH at times. Like,
no!
I mean, I'm only guilty of it because I'm an old school McLaren fan.
He's the GOAT. Like, you can't not be a Team LH fan. It's like everybody's a Ferrari fan and everybody loves Lewis. It's the unwritten rule.
Unless you're a Max fan. But
Sorry, that was a visceral reaction on my part. Apologies, everyone.
I would love to see the 8th. I would have loved to see it in Mercedes, but seeing it in Ferrari also brings a fairy tale to it.
Yes.
So yeah, like probably that could be where like a certain level of bias comes from. But at the same time, like as I say, like I've seen it happen before where drivers have gotten away with penalties for false starts in the same sort of way.
Yes.
I mean, I'm hesitant to say that I feel like Max has also gotten away with it once before. I don't have any evidence to back that up in my back pocket.
That is risky business right there. Max getting away with a penalty that he should have definitely been given. That never happens.
Because only Max gets penalties, like nobody else, just Max. The FIA
if Max got penalties for every single fucked up thing he's ever done, he'd have been banned from multiple races last season. Just saying. End of story. Thank you very much.
I did also have a slight criticism for Max as well after he crashed out.
Oh, go on.
He threw his steering wheel.
Did he
I
have an
didn't
outburst
see him
of
look
unnecessary anger and borderline violence?
Yes, he did have an outburst of unnecessary anger and borderline violence towards that poor steering wheel, which I watched go across the nose. Did he get a fine? Well, this is my question, because I'm pretty sure in the rules it says that you have to leave your car with the steering wheel attached, because we've seen drivers get out of the car and have to reattach the steering wheel before leaving the track.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I saw Max walking away from his car as soon as he hopped out.
Throw things, get fined. Go off the track, get fined. Again, we'll go into that in a minute.
Whoever threw that umbrella on the track.
Oh, whoever did that, right? Ocon needs to send them a personalised thank you letter.
Yeah.
Because he got that pit stop because of them, so...
Just based on the colour, it did look like a Lando umbrella.
Lando Norris fans doing the God's work. You're welcome. Doing the absolute God's work.
To stay.
Literally, if we can't have Latifi, we'll have Ocon.
Go Tifi, that is.
Yeah, who was also DJing this past weekend. Just saying.
Was it?
Goat Tifi was on the decks. King nice. Goat Tifi himself was on the decks. I'm like, bro, get him to the club immediately. What do you mean?
I'm assuming, though, he wasn't involved in Lewis Hamilton's new chant.
I mean, iconic, but probably not, no. I don't think it will catch on as much as the Max chant has, but I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Other things that weren't fair this weekend. Kimi and his 5-second penalty for leaving the track even though he had no fucking choice. Thoughts, feelings, opinions.
Again, because we've seen it before, I kind of felt like the penalty was kind of fair.
Oh, okay.
Just because, I was, me and my dad were watching it, and we were very much talking about Hamilton when his, was it his brakes caught fire or something at Singapore?
Yes.
I think last season.
Yes.
And he would, but to be fair, in that case, Hamilton was completely cutting corners rather than going wide.
Yeah.
So I would be open to the argument of that being a different situation.
Yeah. I think if the car can't steer, okay, hear me out. I'm not an FIA diehard, know the rulebook inside and out, right?
No.
But if the car won't steer and he's going wide because it doesn't steer, surely, okay, rather than a 5-second penalty for track limits, there's got to be another penalty in that godforsaken rulebook being like, oh, I don't know, driving a car if it's unsafe, for example.
Yeah.
Could they not have hit him with that? So could they not have hit him with that instead?
Yeah.
Because of course he's going off the fucking track. He can't steer the bastard thing.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, give him another penalty instead. The car's unfit for race conditions. Fair enough. Hit him with a 5-second for that. Why are you giving him track limits when you can hear over the radio and see in your own camera angles that the car is fooked and can't steer?
I mean, that's a bit. If you look at him going down the hangar straight, you can see him having to hold the steering to the right just to go in a straight line.
Worse than my car after hitting a pothole.
I did also feel like, though, Mercedes also could have avoided that when they realised what the problem was, and then let him go on for another lap.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, would he have gotten that penalty if he had come out?
That's a good point.
In, because Bono says, "Oh, we think it's the shield, wheel shield, has come out of place," and then it's like, you just see Kimi's gone past the pit lane, and I'm just sort of like, so why didn't you box him and pull it out then? I didn't quite understand that part.
Yeah. Completely fair. And also, watching one of the pit crew pull it off made me want to cry. Like, I was like, what? That's got to be quarter of a million's worth of damages right there. Just yanking it off.
Yeah.
Craziness. I was like, you're just going to let this geezer go back round the track after you've just yanked half his car off? What the fuck?
There was like a moment, I think, just as Kimi pulls away after he's pulled it off, where one of the other mechanics looks up at the guy holding it, and he just holds it up like, got it.
Nasavenya. Straight on F1 Authentics. Signed piece of Kimi's car. Straight on F1 Authentics. Lol.
Either that or eBay.
Ooh, shall I check it? Another 4,000 quid down the crapper. Let's go.
Do you know what? I'd spend $4,000 on that over a golden monster can.
Are you joking? The monster can? I want that. Okay, another point. One of the final things that I didn't think was fair this weekend. Thoughts on the safety car finish. Have we found out the official reason why it stayed out? Have they announced that?
We do. Yes.
Okay.
And they're blaming 2021.
Excuse me? Excuse-moi? What?
Basically, apparently, this was the funny part, because Sky Sports found this out just as they were about to interview Toto Wolff and asked him about it, and Toto did not want to talk about 2021. Trauma.
Trauma.
They basically said that now after the message goes out to all teams that the lapped cars can pass, they have to do an extra lap, and they're claiming that all teams were notified just as the cars crossed the line to go on to lap 51, and that the safety car, basically the safety car in message was a mistake.
So they're blaming a software error.
Yes, error and a rule that apparently got adapted after 2021.
So my theory that they brought Michael Massey back is incorrect, is what you're telling me.
I mean, maybe that's who first off tried to bring the safety car in.
I thought we were seeing a resurgence of Michael Massey. I was like, oh, who gave the man his job back?
He's just lurking around the corner. He just pressed the button.
He's just there with the safety car in button, just going, don't make me press it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, who's in front? Is it Max or Lewis? Oh, Max is out. Oh, where's Lewis? Third. Oh, I could. Oh, God. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's a shit reason. And 2021 comes back to bite us in the arse again. Wow.
Yeah.
In the year, in the God's year of 2026, we're having flashbacks to 5 years ago. Wow. Okay.
Honestly.
Good to know.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, they found it out literally with Toto Wolff stood there, and they just said 2021, and Toto just went, "Listen, I don't want to put a morbid spin on this." Just,
I get it, but goddamn, seriously?
Yeah.
All those people paid how much for a ticket, and it finishes under a safety car, bruh. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, apparently, people were leaving during that last lap. Admittedly, if I was there and I paid all that money, I would not be leaving that seat.
I'd only leave the seat if it meant I could get closer to the podium.
Yeah.
That'd be the only reason. God damn. Well, 2021 comes back to bite us in the arse. Team LH, it technically did benefit you, I guess, this time round. Because you got to keep third. So...
Yeah.
Could have been second, but your own pit strategy fucked you up. So...
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. It was that thing of, realistically, the safety car should have come in on lap 51. And, yeah, then we would have gotten, one lap of action. Everybody drained their batteries to the end. Yeah. And, yeah, hopefully see, a good race right at the end. But
yeah.
Instead, we got to see a procession. Welcome to Monaco, London edition.
Pretty much. Which, in a way, this is kind of insane how well this is leading into my next point. But my next point was literally, do you think the FIA are too heavily involved now? Like, the follow-on to this is, do you think this has changed since the backlash of 2021? But we've kind of answered that already.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they're far too involved now.
I think the FIA are constantly in this thing of like, they're either too scared to do something or too quick to do something.
Yes, agreed.
And like, there's no more like common sense, and it's like every time that something happens as well, like even to a certain extent, us as fans and like all the coverage then starts going into, well, the letter of the law says this, and this, and it's like sometimes I do feel like maybe the FIA should just sort of like go, hey, do you know what? Like, for instance, two cars collided. They were like battling. Do we want them just in uniform, just going round and being too scared to overtake because they might get a penalty for it?
Yeah.
But then there's also times where it is just sort of like someone like puts a nose out and the FIA like, it also seems to be depending on where they are in the championship. Like, as soon as it's like kind of affecting like the point scoring team, it's a little bit sort of like, oh, well, what should we do? Oh, we're not sure because we don't want everybody to be mad at us, but there's no way that nobody's going to be mad at us. And then if it's someone that's like not even going to get a point, they just sort of go, slap them with a 5-second penalty. I still remember I can't remember where it was from, but there was a person that I'd heard about somewhere that was just sort of like, oh, I thought Ocon was another word for a penalty.
Yeah, me too. At one point, it was like, you get a penalty, you get a penalty, you get a penalty. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Everybody gets penalties.
Literally. Just crazy amount of penalties flying around, but they're definitely too involved. By all means, get involved in the safety side of things. But from a regulation side of things, like, just let them race. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Step in when you have to. Don't be there like all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, going back to the safety car, like, I almost feel like the way you decide whether a safety car comes in should just be like a line of a few questions. Question 1, is the track safe to go racing? If yes, move on to question 2. If no, safety car stays out. Question 2, is there like a satisfactory amount of laps for lapped cars to pass and come back around? If no, then either peel them through the pit lane so that all the other cars can go off and have their race, or just deal with the lapped cars in the way. Get over it and do what you would do if the race was live anyway. And then like just go on to if you've got your lapped cars unlapping themselves, once they're around the back or once they're like halfway down the track and they're out the way, like at the end of that lap, bring the safety car in, let's go racing.
Yeah. Do we think Kimi could win?
I think he has it in him. I think he's had a major step up from last season. And yeah, I think he has every chance of winning it if he can get that car to stop failing on him.
Agreed. I think, like you said, they need to work on the consistency. And I think as long as he maintains a level head, he'll be fine. I feel like he has a little bit of Yuki Tsunoda in him. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's got a bit of a firecracker in there. That as long as he, well, I mean, he's Italian, for God's sake. Shout out to all my Italian fans, but you lot are firecrackers when you lose it. So I'm not shocked. But, you know, like, he needs to maintain a level head and just keep pushing.
I think that's where Bono is a really good at race engineer for him. Because Bono is very good. Like, we've seen it multiple times now where Bono is very good at just sort of like basically telling him to chill the fuck out without actually having to say that.
Yeah.
He can just sort of like say, okay, we're just doing our thing. We just do our race. Just focus on us.
Yeah.
And it's like only like once or twice has Toto had to get involved.
Toto's too busy keeping a hold of George.
Yeah, just drive the car, George.
I hate George. Sorry, I do. Well, hate's a very strong word. I think he has a lot of growing up to do. I think he is a very entitled driver for somebody who is not that good at driving. I feel like because he's moved to Merc, he feels like he's owned a championship.
Yes.
And he is by no means owed a championship. And no. I personally think that if the rumours are true and Max is on the hunt for a new seat, I think George should be very afraid.
I did read a thing today that apparently Max had lowered his expectations or like something in his potential contract with Mercedes. And apparently Toto turned around and said, actually, I'm good. And just said, no, thank you.
Interesting.
But this is something that I saw like on social media, so obviously take it with pinches of salt.
I wouldn't put it past Toto to sign him, you know.
I wouldn't put it past him. I do, though, think that Toto would struggle with Max a little bit, though.
Yes.
Because I think Max has very much had things his own way for a long time now. And I think he's thinking that he's going to go to a team, automatically be number one driver, team leader, the big I am, and everybody's going to bow to his whims. And I think Toto sees a lot of potential in Kimi Antonelli and wouldn't want to put Kimi into that position.
Yep.
So that's where I'm a little bit not sure that Toto would go down that route with the way that Kimi's going now.
So then could we see a straight swap between Oscar and Max? Because let's be honest, okay, as McLaren fans here, let's be honest with ourselves. Out of the two, Oscar is the slightly stronger driver, yes or no? And we need to be honest, we can't be seen as being biased here.
It is difficult because I feel like Oscar also has his bad days.
Yes, agreed. But out of the two of them, I feel like if Oscar was in a team that favoured him a little bit more, he would have won last year. Just saying, sorry, but it's true. I think because I've said it once in this last half an hour of recording, I'll say it again. There was some points fiddling going on. And I feel like there was a conversation had, again, this is all speculation, this is just my drama llamas behind the scenes that I invent in my head. I feel like there
we got our own tinfoil hats.
Genuinely, I feel like there was a conversation had between the big ZB and the big LN that was like, look, if I don't win this championship this year, there's going to be curtains because I've been here the longest. And you keep saying you're not going to pick, but you need to pick. Because let's be honest, they picked without actually picking.
Yeah. I think, in a way, I wonder if they kind of went into panic mode with Verstappen's resurgence because nobody saw it coming. And then before McLaren knew it
coming.
That was the thing. Before McLaren knew it was happening, McLaren was knocking out the back door just going, hi, I'm here for a championship.
Yeah.
And I think McLaren thought that they were just going to have this easy run over season. They thought they were going to be Red Bull in 2023. They didn't have to pick any drivers. They could just let them duke it out. And then all of a sudden, Max just went, no.
Max was like, hello!
Max came smashing through the wall. And for any of my anime nerds out there, like My Hero Academia, All Might, he was there going, I am here.
I am here to take the championship.
Yeah.
And the way he was like, That trophy looks exactly the same as all the others. I've got 5 more at home. I was like, whoa, okay. Okay, Karen, calm down. Calm down, Karen. Honestly. I'd like to see Max move the same way that I always said I'd like to see Lewis move from Merc, but then when it actually happened, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 let's not be too hasty here.
I was just speculating here, like, chill out.
Honestly, that day will go down in history as the funniest day of my life. Because my boss at the time was like, oh, did you hear Lewis is apparently moving to Ferrari? And I was like, mate, the day that happens is the day pigs fly. And then I get home and I'm like, what? Like, sorry?
I was at work and I had a notification ping on my phone and I just looked at it, and you know when you see those fake ones where it's just they use the same banners and everything so that it makes you think it's true, and then you look at it and in the bottom corner it says lol got you or something like that. I thought it was one of those. I clicked on it, opened it, and I was like, oh no, this is real.
This is
Lewis
real.
is going to Ferrari.
Which, I mean, it just screams retirement, doesn't it? If we're being honest. Get the 8, retire. It's
plan.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was a bit sort of oh, I'm putting my ducks in a row and making sure that I retire on the high note.
And now he has his super fit girlfriend, so the towel stealer, if you will. Everyone hates her. I want to hear your thoughts, okay? Because personally, right, everybody hates her, okay? Or it seems that everybody hates her. I have dabbled in keeping up with the Kardashians. I've watched the TV show. I'm not going to say I'm a fan, but I've watched the TV show. I have, in fact, kept up with the Kardashians, okay? So for me, I'm like, okay, bit weird. Out of all the people in the world he could have dated, bit weird, considering he's one of the most private people on the grid and he's dating one of the most out there in the public eye people you could think of. But at the same time, they've been friends for years. There's pictures of the 4 of them together. Her ex-husband, who we're not going to speak about, Nicole, and obviously Lewis, together. So they've known each other for a while. That's cute. Yeah. That's wholesome. That's nice. Obviously they've kept in touch after all this time. That's cute. And then I feel like if anyone's going to understand the busy schedule and the scrutiny and the constant social media buzz and anger surrounding everything that she does, I feel like Lewis is going to be that person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a bit I'm not a fan of Kardashians. I'm not going to say I dislike them. I nothing them.
You're indifferent. They're just there. Yeah, right.
I have never kept up with said Kardashians.
Good for you, honestly. It's a rabbit hole. Don't do it to yourself.
But at the end of the day, in our little group chat, you sent that video of them riding the bike and
that video
falling over.
Oh, that video. I watched that. If I'm feeling depressed for whatever reason and I have a funny episode for 5 minutes, the video of Kim and Lewis riding bicycles and her crashing into him and screaming gives me so much joy you have no idea.
I think it's the perfectly cut scream.
Just gets me every time. And it's the way her mouth is so wide open with fear as well. And Lewis is just so casually looking at the camera like there's nothing wrong. And it just cracks me up.
Once.
It just sends me every time. I'm literally crying laughing right now. And I love the fact that they'll post that. And it just makes me happy to see them happy, if you know what I mean. As long as they're happy, who cares?
Yeah, at the end of the day, is Kim Kardashian, sitting over his shoulder when he's driving the car? No. What does it matter for the racing, then?
She'll probably turn up to 3 races a year. That's it.
Yeah, she'll probably show up to Monaco like each year because it's Monaco.
Yeah.
We always get the celebrities there.
Yeah.
And then if she happens to be like in a country that's either nearby or in the same place as a race, she'll probably be there if she has a week off. I don't know if she has weeks off.
I don't think they sleep, to be honest.
No.
Having kept up with the Kardashians, I'm 90% sure she doesn't own a bed. If she does, I've never seen it.
Actually, I've just realised the one exposure of any sort of like keeping up with Kardashians I've had is, I think, the video of the "Is that a chicken?"
Kylie Jenner with the pig. What an iconic scene. Miss Kylie Jenner to the foyer, and she comes, for anyone that hasn't seen it, she comes wandering down the stairs and goes, "Is that a chicken?" And her mum's holding a micro pig.
It is a brilliant clip. I highly recommend if you haven't seen it.
Honestly, if you just type into YouTube, if you haven't seen it, Kylie Jenner chicken, it will change your life. Honestly, it will change your life. Another video for those that want exposure to the Kardashians. I'm not saying you need to have it, but if you want it, just look up Kardashians getting roasted by their kids. It is the funniest 20 minutes you'll have, honestly. They just get absolutely roasted by their children, and there's a lot of them as well. But it's so good to watch, honestly. It's so good to watch. Like, this is why Kim doesn't give a fuck about our commentary on her and Lewis. They couldn't give a damn. Both of them are rolling in money. Are you kidding me? They're both minted up the wazoo. Neither of them give a fuck. And what, she took Kimi Antonelli's towel. Who gives a fuck?
I will say as well, like, at first, like, when I saw it, I was a little bit sort of like, oh, that's disrespectful. And then I just sort of like, I watched it again and I was like, hang on, they're at the podium, so Kimmy's probably left that behind and not even thought about it until the Mercedes admin team have said, hey, can we record you saying, where's my towel?
It's like, it would be different if he was using it and she walked up to him and snatched it out of his fucking hand. Yeah. That's different.
Then would be like, get out of here.
Oh, it's so ungrateful. She's touching the towel that Kimmy was using. Bitch, they're probably going to throw them away or put them in the freaking washing machine anyway. Who cares? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
How many drivers have, like, kept the podium towel?
None of them. None of them. But because it's Kim Kardashian, everybody had a fucking problem with it. It's like, grow up.
I want to go into like Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen, like a multiple race winner. I want to go into their bathroom and use the towel that they kept from the podium.
Yeah. And like Mrs. Leclerc, okay? Alexandria Leclerc, or however you pronounce her name. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry, people. So Mrs. Leclerc, okay? Mrs. Leclerc was probably thinking to herself, fuck me, I get to hang out with the Kim Kardashian for an afternoon. What an amazing day.
Yeah.
And Charles probably thinking, fuck me, that's Kim Kardashian. Like, whether you like the Kardashians or not, people, they are famous, okay? Whether you like them or not, everybody knows at least one of the Kardashians, okay?
I think the reason that this has also gotten blown out of proportion is because it's someone that people can actually name. Like, if we went down the grid, I probably couldn't name, like, most of the grid's, like, other halves. The only ones that I could really sort of like not even name I know of is that Alex Albon is dating a golf person. Yep. Lando Norris is no longer dating a model.
Yeah, Maggie, whatever her name was. She's stunning, by the way.
She was very pretty.
He fumbled the bag big time.
Yeah. I mean, it's all for that. It's all for George. Still waiting for it.
Literally, Mrs. Leclerc is the only one I know. Alexandra Leclerc is the only one I know. And then obviously Maggie or whatever her name was. And then all I know is Mrs. George, Mrs. Alex, Carlos's girlfriend. That's it. Oh yeah, Kelly. I know Kelly. Kelly Piquet, yeah. Yeah,
we're not,
but only because of her relations in family-wise, not because she's Max's girlfriend.
Yeah, and not because he stole Kvyat's entire life.
Oh no. How is he?
Sorry,
Has anyone checked in on him?
Yeah, can we get a wellness check on Danny Kvyat? Did you see Lance Stroll's parking at Silverstone?
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because I wasn't going to unless you did. Okay, so for context, people, ladies and gentlemen, the Silverstone car parking spaces for the Formula One drivers were fucking massive. Can you confirm, Jay? They were fucking massive, right?
Yeah, 2 parking spaces, and someone rubbed out the middle line and made it 1.
Yeah, so mega
That's
parking spots, right? So then you would think, by that logic, okay, that a normal person in a normal car could park within that spot, right? Mm. Every driver on the grid, neatly in between the lines, every single one. Then you get to Stroll. This motherfucker saw the line and went, that's not for me, and parked over
on the racing line.
This is the one and only time this Canadian ass motherfucker has actually picked a racing line. Genuinely. Oh, and stuck to it, by the way. Not just picked it, stuck to it. And it's like, has anyone had Stroll's eyes tested? Because this would explain a lot, okay? You know, the drifting to the right and crashing into people, not being able to park in the parking spots. Like, has my guy had an eye test? Should we call Specsavers and be like, yo, we've found your next sponsor, bro, okay?
Specsavers, you need to sponsor Aston Martin.
Innit? Like, what the fuck is this man on? Either Zimmer frames for fucking Alonso or Specsavers for Stroll. You pick, mate. Either way, they're making bank. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Stroll is just a specimen. He's got a very punchable face, for a start.
Yes.
Like, he just has a very punchable face, and you can tell that he's just there because his dad got him a seat on the team and he likes the paycheck. That's it. He's basically the personality hire of Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And it's about time we made some space, you know what I'm saying? Will it ever happen? No. But, like, you know.
Aston Martin, like, dropped the ball on Felipe Drugovich because of the fact that they just won't get rid of Stroll.
Which is just honestly outrageous. It's a hate crime.
Yeah. It's like any reserve driver for Aston Martin, like, just must be looking, just going, well, Alonso, like, Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine is going to be doing this till he's 90. And Stroll, he's just here as long as his dad's here.
True. True. He's basically part of the furniture at this point.
Yeah,
it's like oh, you can't buy your way into Formula One. Camera pans to Stroll.
Yeah, the entire grid looks at Stroll.
It's like, actually, yes, you fucking can, and his name is Lance Stroll.
Lego race.
Oh, see, again, I didn't want to talk about this unless you brought it up. Because,
how was I not going to bring this up? Because Alonso had his one and only chance to win a race.
Do I think it was as good as the original Miami one? No.
It never will be.
But then, do I think it was funny watching them all try and get through the gravel and then have to unbeach their own go-karts? And then Carlos just goes, nah, fuck this, and just pitches a ride with Lando. That was quite funny. And Alonso leaning down to press Bottas's brake pedal. That was hilarious. Iconic. It's like, the only way you're going to win is to lean out of your own car.
And I keep on, like, looking through Instagram, I keep on, like, seeing all the different drivers, like, point of views with the phones that were mounted onto the cars.
Yes.
And all I keep on seeing is Ollie Behrman using everybody else's car to pull himself forwards.
I saw that. And then when the main cameramen pan to Lewis, he's fucking doing business meetings over it.
He was doing his impression of Kimi Antonelli in Miami Lego race.
He's making bloody business calls over it. He was probably talking to Kim, to be fair. Yeah, sorry, sweet cheeks. Hold up, I've got to race these little Lego carts around.
That's going to take me like 5 minutes to do this one lap.
Yeah. I don't know, I think the original was better because they were full-size Lego cars.
Yeah, and I think the fact that, like, you had 2 in a car was even funnier as well.
It made
because
for
you had
more of
like
an
the
atmosphere.
one. Yeah, you had the one that was like focusing on the driving, whilst another was just a passenger laughing at everything.
Yeah, Lewis in the back while Charles was trying to drive was like the funniest thing in the
Yeah,
world. You could hear him laughing like a little kid. It was so cute.
that was the thing. Like, I was a little part of me was disappointed when I saw. I think it was Lewis, Max, and Mr. Personality Stroll. All three of them were just sort of like, oh, like not really looking forward to it. It's going to be like crap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then cut to both Max and Lewis laughing their fucking asses off in the middle of it.
Yep.
And I'm just sort of like, see, this is the thing. Like, I enjoy when the sport lets its hair down and goes, this is a ridiculous sport.
Yep, I agree. I didn't like the fact that Mohammed Ben Salem was in the front.
Yeah,
What was he there
I
for?
don't know how true this is. Apparently, he wasn't going to be in it. And then Stefano Domenicali turned around and was just sort of like, oh, yeah, you should do it. And apparently, MBS was basically just sort of like, no. Okay.
Doesn't surprise me.
No, he loves to
any
be
moment he
in the
gets to be
show.
the centre of attention.
Yeah.
What
I
an
mean,
absolute
he's
knob.
isn't he even trying to get it so that he can like stay president for longer than he should be?
I think so.
This man's trying to be the Trump of the FIA.
He's trying to be the Stroll of the FIA. Fucking buying his way in, lad. Oh, Stroll for FIA president. That would be bants. Oh, that would be so funny.
We nearly had Carlos Sainz Sr. considered going for it.
I would have loved that.
Yeah.
That would have been
I think the only
good.
reason that he probably didn't is because if then Carlos Sainz starts doing well, how many people are going to be going, well, it's only because his dad's the head of the FIA.
Same can be said for Stroll.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why Ferrari got away with their penalties was because Stefano Domenicali became the head of F1.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, their fucking investigation they were under just miraculously disappeared.
What investigation?
Exactly! Stefano
look under that
Domenicali, you
rug.
snaky little bastard. Well, on that note, I think we've
that
pretty much
bombshell.
covered everything that we can. Yes, in Top Gear fashion on that bombshell. It is time to end. Thank you for tuning into the Silverstone special, everyone. This has been Bex and
J-Man.
Yes, and
Okay,
we will.
whatever you prefer.
I will catch you after Spa in a couple of weeks.
Woo, Spa!
Woo,
One of
let's
my favourite
go.
tracks.
Same here. Let's go.